What's poppin', Monster Hunters? It's me, MT, and welcome back to the Heavy Spoiler Show. Spoilers for Monarch Legacy of Monsters Episode 5 because, oh my god, wouldn't you know it, this video is actually a breakdown for that episode. I know, shocking. Thought I'd switch things up this week. Keep you guys on your toes, so let's just jump on into this beast, shall we? Because unlike my mental state, this episode isn't gonna break itself down now, is it? Nope. And with the last episode ending with Cate, May, Kentaro, and Shaw being rescued from being permanent Alaskan popsicles, this episode opening with a shot of all of them confined within Monarch holding cells was very much to be expected. And as Monarch keeps a close eye on each of them, to the right of that jail video feed, we can see a computer screen with the same radiation visuals that Monarch Research Agent Barnes first picked up in her trailer in the last episode. Then after the intro goes, for the fifth time, we get to witness Monarch Agent Duvall begin to seduce May with the promises of scientific glory, implying that if May were to cooperate with her, May would be free to name that gigantic soul-sucking snow mole that almost killed her and her friends after herself. Because if you ever got the opportunity to name the person that tried to kill you, why not just take it? However, what's particularly interesting during this moment is that Duvall seems to not exactly know May's true name, as May is actually carrying two passports with the name of her sister Lyra Mateo on the other passport. So, considering that passports usually have people's pictures on them, I think the implication here is that Lyra and May might both have identical faces as twins, and that May is merely using Lyra's real passport in order to pass as Lyra and avoid detection. All those times that we saw May keeping her phone calls short with Lyra was likely due to May wanting to keep Lyra out of all the sketchy, illegal shenanigans that May's hacker lifestyle tends to get her in, with her recent run-in with those confidential Monarch files being one of those worst case scenarios that May was preparing for. Because if anybody finds out that May has a twin sister, then May won't be able to be the incognito ghost traveler that she wants to be. But while Lyra, being May's twin sister, has yet to be seen, we do also learn that this Lyra Mateo is also located on the west coast of the United States in Tacoma, Washington, which could be why we see May giving Lyra a phone call on that boat ride while on her way to Alaska and telling her that she might be coming home soon. But at any rate, it definitely feels like Duvall even saying Lyra's name seemed to have spooked May the hell out and was likely the chief reason why May agrees to give Duvall a call at the very end of the episode. Because while May's teeth were a-chattering outside Santa's Alaskan workshop, she revealed that her sister Lyra was pretty much the only real immediate family that she had left that would actually care if she passed away. So not getting Lyra wrapped up in this whole Monarch situation is definitely of high importance for May. Especially since, let's be real, this shit ain't even May's problem. All of this is happening because Kentaro and his surprise sister brought all of their family drama to her comfy Japanese apartment. So she kinda has no real reason to remain loyal to the messy Randa family, especially now that her own family has been put in the crosshairs of the shitty, shadowy charlatans over at Monarch, a frustration that May has been sharing with Kentaro over these last few episodes. But anyways, after this, Duvall of course gives an update to Assistant Director Verdugo and Tim, with Tim then suggesting that Monarch give the Randa children a crash course into the family business rather than, treating them like common criminals. But it is actually Agent Duvall who recommends to Verdugo that Monarch let Cate, May, and Kentaro go, but keep them on a long leash, which is what immediately happens in the following scene when we see Tim and Duvall dropping the gang off at the airport in Nome, Alaska with money, plane tickets, and government-provided cell phones that definitely haven't been bugged with trackers whatsoever. You can trust Monarch because why would Monarch do something like that? These are Christian people. They named themselves Monarch because God is the monarch of heaven. I'm kidding, but no, seriously, as soon as Monarch handed out them phones and May didn't immediately throw hers away and suggest that Cate and Kentaro do the same, I knew that something was up, because May isn't the type to keep an oops, we're sorry cell phone from the shady friends of Uncle Sam unless it could somehow help her in the end, because she knows that these people are definitely tracking her. I mean, this is the same chick who threw her cell phone off of a boat in order to keep Monarch from finding her again. Like, someone as tech-savvy as May was not born yesterday. But honestly, regardless of whether or not May is actually trying to betray Cate and Kentaro, I can definitely see May eventually working for Monarch by the end of the series. May's skills at data mining and stealth were remarkable enough to raise Agent Duvall's eyebrow after all, so I would not be surprised if Monarch picks this insanely talented free agent up real quick to join the squad. Because as we can see with Tim over the course of the series, Monarch isn't exactly a bad organization filled with bad people. Keiko and Bill Randa did not found Monarch with that intention. They've just evolved into a fearful monster of a monster-hunting entity. An entity so fearful of another monster attack that it has begun to grow numb to the civil liberties of others. Because who needs civil liberties? Not me. A dystopian future is coming for us all. Anyway, but despite that whole attempted kidnapping thing, which is a minor little thing, no big deal, Tim himself is definitely evidence of Monarch still having good people with good intentions in it. Like, Tim only really did that because he appears to have a deeper awareness than most about just how devastating this new breed of Titan-sized beast could be for the human race as a whole, which is why he snapped at the idealistic trio at the airport, telling them to wake the hell up. However, if there's one Monarch agent that I do not trust whatsoever, it is of course Agent Duvall, an agent who is deeply obsessed with trying to find out exactly what the Randa and Shaw families know, more so than I feel than Agent Verdugo wants to know. Because while it may appear that Duvall is simply working with Monarch to try to find out what the gang knows about Bill Randa's files, you gotta remember that Monarch isn't the only sketchy, well-funded organization on the market. Because let's not forget the historically accurate biopic that released in the year of our Lizard Lord 2021, Godzilla vs. Kong, and how the rich assholes over at Apex Cybernetics were the main bad guys of that film that used trickery to get well-meaning scientists and Kong himself to lead them to the radioactive power source from the Hollow Earth. Because there's a good chance that Duvall could be a double agent here on behalf of Apex Cybernetics, in my opinion, and possibly the very double agent that could actually end up being responsible for bringing the Hollow Earth to Apex Cybernetics' attention in the first place, as the events of Monarch Legacy of Monsters take place in the year 2015, a full 9 years prior to the events of Godzilla vs. Kong. Like I alluded to in previous Monarch videos, it's appearing more and more likely that the same mysterious blue radioactive power source that was the focal point of that movie seems to be informing the plot of Monarch Legacy of Monsters as well, as one of those blue power sources made another appearance in the frosty hills of Alaska and were likely the focus of Bill and Hiroshi Randa's research. The coordinates that Kentaro uses the sun on the map to decipher at the end of the episode likely reveal different wormhole tunnel locations to the Hollow Earth home of all of the Titans that Hiroshi Randa found, keeping those locations a secret from a trigger-happy Monarch in order to honor his mother Keiko's wishes after Keiko watched General Puckett try to blow up Godzilla with a bunch of nukes. But anyways, after the gang convinced May to stay with them, they used their Monarch money to travel from Nome, Alaska back to San Francisco, with the wide shot of the city revealing the still broken Golden Gate Bridge that Godzilla walked through in Godzilla 2014, causing the wheels on the bus to stop going round and round, leading Cate to have immense trauma for the rest of her life because all of those kids died on the bus. While walking through the Oakland airport, the gang noticed an ad for a company called Strata Secure Homes that provides titanium strength bunkers in the event of a Titan emergence. Likely a bit of foreshadowing for something our protagonists might be needing to use to protect themselves by a kaiju by the end of the series. And also, I bet you $1 million that rich asshole Walter Simmons owned one of these bad boys while he was working on building Mechagodzilla and Godzilla vs. Kong. But anyways, after this, Cate then switches things around for Kentaro and introduces him to his father's other wife, Caroline Randa, a woman working with FEMA as part of their urban recovery program after Godzilla's attack devastated countless homes in the region. A number of missing posters can actually be seen on a fence as the gang roll up to Caroline's house and the tall work friend James mobile. Then Kate's cool-ass mom Caroline then helps the gang break into the quarantine red zone in order to access Hiroshi Randa's San Francisco office. But on the way to that office, the gang walk past the remains of one of Kate's favorite coffee shops called Grounds Hero, which is of course a play on the term Ground Zero, which is hilarious considering that San Francisco was Ground Zero for Legendary's new Monsterverse in 2014 with Godzilla's arrival. There actually used to be a coffee shop named Grounds Hero in real life over in Arkansas, but that place closed a little while back. But this Ground Zero in the show is for sure an accepting one, as we can see a pride flag hanging at the top of the building, which is very fitting for this episode's reveal that Cate is actually into women, which is honestly super awesome and relatable because, let's face it, boobs rule, and nobody can tell me otherwise. Nobody. Not you, not your mama, not your daddy. But what's super not awesome is learning that Grounds Hero was actually Ground Zero for lesbian infidelity. I cannot even believe that we have been following a cheater of a teacher this entire time. Like, I know that 4 boobs are better than none, but my God, have some restraint, woman. I'm just kidding. But this revelation definitely serves to continue this show's themes of reflective dualities. Because while Cate was being angry and judgmental at her own father for going on an international world tour with his penis, she was doing her own bit of sneaking around as well. And while this is obviously not ideal for both of Cate's partners because cheating hurts people, stop cheating, people, Jesus Christ, that infidelity might actually end up being good for Cate's character growth in the end, because Cate definitely knows how complicated and conflicting the emotions involved in cheating can possibly be. Because it honestly seemed like Cate cared for both of these women, much like her father Hiroshi cared for both Caroline and Emiko equally. But anyways, when we get a look into Cate's science classroom, we can see that Cate made sure to highlight the achievements of famous women in science, like astronaut Mae Jemison, who became the first African-American woman in space in 1992, Marie Curie, who became famous for her groundbreaking work in the field of radioactivity, and Jocelyn Bell Burnell, who was responsible for detecting the first radio pulsars in space all the way back in 1967. And considering how Agent Barnes detects pulsar-type radiation coming from within the planet itself at the start of the last episode, the placing of these three important women of science in this scene was very much meant to be a shout-out to all the important women that have made the science fiction narrative of the Monsterverse possible. Cate for sure has the scientific spirit of her own trailblazing grandmother, Keiko, and on that same wall, we can see that Cate has her own maps of the Earth with satellite-type weather data and whatnot on the sides, proving Cate's claim about her science class helping her decipher her father's old maps at his office later on in the episode. But anyways, I really enjoyed how the process of Cate walking through the ruins of San Francisco also doubled as a metaphor for Cate dealing with her past traumas and regrets that manifested around G-Day, with those flashbacks becoming stronger and stronger the more that Cate ventured through those ruins until she has another one of her panic attacks that we saw her suffering through in that first episode. And I especially love how this metaphor served the overall lesson of the episode of the only way getting through one's pains and anxieties is to actually confront those anxieties and accept the emotions that come with them. Which is why Kentaro reveals that he found a way out right after Mae advises Cate to do just that, because the only way out is through. And honestly, I deeply enjoyed this moment between Cate and Mae a whole lot, and really do hope that these two end up together by the end of the series, because they would be ridiculously good for one another. Like, they seem to be bonding a whole lot in this episode, and I'm all about it. But anyways, that is it for this breakdown of Monarch Legacy of Monsters episode 5. Let us know what you guys think of this episode in the comments section below. And hey, how about that new Godzilla Kong trailer, y'all? How do you guys think that this series will tie into that new movie? Let us know, let us know. But you can find me at Mastertainment on Twitter or Instagram or wherever I am on the internet. But most importantly, do not forget to follow Heavy Spoilers here on YouTube, because we always got stuff for you guys all the time and you don't want to miss it. But again, thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. I love you so much, and do good things today. Go hug your mom, go high five your dad, go give your siblings the money you owe them. Just be good to one another, at least until the next video, okay? Just do that for me, okay? I love you. Bye.